Oh! Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name is SKYMAN Universe. It is great to be back and actually making a Star Wars video again. Now, I did plan and intend on doing this when The Mandalorian pretty much came out and after my last reaction, but I thought it would be a good slash fun thing to compile all of what I consider my best reactions for The Mandalorian Season 2. Put it into one video, do it from like 10 to 1, 1 being the best. I think you probably guessed which one that is. There were loads of, oh my goodness, moments in there, and that's just a testament to what came out and was bestowed upon us in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I'm kind of getting, I don't know if it's like you, but I am certainly getting the Mandalorian blues at the moment, or just sort of Star Wars blues at the moment. I think if we were to put it in a cinema context, the outlook for cinemas is looking bleak, and I'd hate to think that feature films and future films or feature films are now going to be transported into the TV online streaming service world. I don't want that to happen. Blockbuster and big screens, just keep that going, because I think that is the fundamental foundation for Star Wars. It began in the cinema. So just a little thing to consider there. So I've compiled these 10 to 1 with honorable mention number 11 to begin with as well. So hopefully this is going to cure your Mandalorian blues and take us back in a time where everything was positive and had almost hope for Star Wars. And now with the Gina Carano mess, complete mess, which has taken place right now, by goodness, we need something good to come out of Lucasfilm. So I'm just reminiscing back to me reacting to The Mandalorian. So I hope you enjoy. So to begin with, number 11. I think this is kind of the honorable mention before we get in. It's just a scene which I really, really liked in this episode. This episode wasn't like crazy amazing. It was, just it felt like nothing really happened, but it included those spiders and those cool scenes. And there was something, I don't know what it was, after you started going through the caves and then the gigantic spider thing appeared, then I started to feel a little bit into it. And I think my reaction here was something which sort of justified my love for spiders, because I absolutely bloody hate them. And I think that this reaction justifies that. So it was a kind of a cool scene for me. There it is.
Yeah, take it away, Ernie. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Yeah, take it away, then. There's gonna be a massive spider. There it is. There it is. Oh my goodness, man. They're creepy. They're so creepy. X-Wings. Those sounds are all the sounds of my childhood playing Star Wars games. So beginning with 10, I think this scene was something which I felt like I wanted to see in The Mandalorian or in Star Wars in general, like the new Star Wars scenes. I don't know what it is. Lightsaber combat is incredibly important to me. I'm obsessed with it. Wherever I walk, if I'm going around the house, I think it's probably more when I'm on my own and by myself, but I'm going like this with my hand, like a complete sado, and it's just a lightsaber in my hand all the time. The Star Wars sequels, they had lightsaber combat, which was different, and I don't know why, I never really felt in it. But this scene with the Darksaber with Moff Gideon and the Mandalorian with his staff thing, that I felt just in it. I felt the tension. It looked awesome. It was like it was well thought out choreography whilst keeping that whole momentum of hacking and slashing. And you felt like kind of on your edge, like something bad was about to happen to either one of them. Which of course it kind of did, but I really like this concept of the Darksaber. I think this is the first time we've seen the Darksaber like in action, in live action form, against another weapon. I mean, I can't remember. But yeah, this was really cool scenes. So coming in on number 10 is Moff Gideon versus the Mandalorian.
All I wanted was to study his blood.
Do you trust him?
Child.
No. He's gonna do something horrible. You just knew that was gonna happen. And I love seeing Moff Gideon as well. I think he's awesome. Also, Mandalorian should keep the saber.
The Darksaber. It belongs to you.
Now she has to challenge him in combat or something.
She would need to defeat you in combat. Oh no.
I love Moff Gideon. Good. He loves it. Coming in from number 9 was a scene which this certain character, I had my doubts. I think I made it very clear with the first season of The Mandalorian. There was one episode which I didn't particularly take to, and that was the heist. I just couldn't warm to the characters, even though the actor for Savage Opress was in there. They could have worked, but the script just didn't feel right. The story felt a little bit mute for me, and the characters of the Twi'leks just did my head in. For some reason, I don't know why, it was almost cringy in little ways for me, but that was just me, and there was something about that episode that didn't fit right. But that sense of humour that Mayfield chap had, that's just not my sense of humour. It's like these wise jokes, these annoying little puns that keep pressing and prodding at people. That's what I felt like. And sure, perhaps that's how his character's written, to keep sort of pressing on the Mandalorian. But to see him come up again and reference in season 2, I was a little bit sceptical. I was just ever so slightly concerned that it could ruin the episode. And my goodness, I was completely wrong with this. And in the scene where he's sitting there in the Imperial compound with the Mandalorian, they had those touching moments where he took off his helmet and his brown eyes. I think for the helmet thing, it probably would have had more meaning if they kept it on until the end, when he took it off for Yoda to show how much he meant to him. But then, of course, you had that kind of when he had to take off his helmet because he's doing it for Baby Yoda to get him back for Grogu. So it also shows again how much he means to him, breaking his own rules there. But there was a lot of character development for this Mayfield, and by the end of it, I was like really warming to him and felt like he was actually a really good character, and I had a complete 360 turnaround on him. And then the scene, which was totally unexpected, where they're sitting there and he was speaking to the Imperial, and in that tense moment, and then he just pulls out his pistol, shoots him. I thought, wow, this guy's got like a moral compass. I loved that reaction because I was not expecting that. And then the rest of the moments where he shoots that poor shore trooper or whatever trooper he was, but that was funny. So coming in on number 9 is Mayfield shootout.
What's your name, officer?
We just call him Brown Eyes. Is that right, officer?
To the Empire.
He's gone up in my estimation. I wasn't actually expecting that. That was quite touching, really. I like that scene. Number 8 holds the episode which I think was probably one of the first things which got me hooked onto season 2, and the whole fact that they went there with this story and filled it in from A New Hope and expanded something from A New Hope and something beloved from Tatooine, and that was the Krayt dragon. Like, I don't know what it was, but after I saw that and knowing what it sounds like, but actually to put a monster to a sound, to a roar, which Obi-Wan Kenobi did, that was a special moment for me. And to actually see a story built on that, taking down the Krayt Dragon. It included so many amazing things on Tatooine. It was like a Star Wars treasure cove. Just kept giving me all the things which I wanted. And by the end of it, I think I watched that episode, rewatched it about 5 times in the space of the next one coming out. I loved it that much. It felt like Star Wars to me. It was almost Star Wars when I first watched it. Made me feel uneasy, like when I was a kid. It made me think about things. It made me a little bit nervous, and just because it was something new, something I'd never seen before. I've never watched any alien movies before, and I kind of had that feeling with the Krayt Dragon and the Tusken Raiders, which I feared so much when I was a child. And to see it all in one thing, into one video with an amazing story with the Mandalorian, the best bit in here, and the reaction, which is kind of shocking for me, was with when the Krayt Dragon starts eating the sand people, and then he spits acid out of his mouth and at the top of the mountain. That scene was a big shocker for me, and very much enjoyed it, and I thought it was very well written and tense moment. So coming in number 8 is the Krayt Dragon acid attack. Is that a Krayt Dragon? I think I heard a Krayt Dragon. It's Obi-Wan's noise, isn't it? Is that a Krayt Dragon? He's crazy. Oh, this is freaking awesome. I love it so much. It's a hungry Krayt Dragon. No. That was awesome. That's a massive Krayt Dragon. Never see, we just see the bones on like it, and you hope, and that's it. It's nice to put a body to some bones. This is so awesome. Like, the suspense is high. Whoa. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. What the hell? What the hell? He's an evil bastard, this Krayt Dragon. Number 7 was a moment where I felt very emotionally charged and tense, and I think this scene, just this scene alone, did so much for the strength and what we think about the Empire and what it is and what it does, and it just did so much development in a positive way to show the might of the Empire and how they think and how they go about doing things. And that was the scene where they're on that ship and the Mandalorians are taking over, and then I don't know what his name is, that guy from Lost, the bad guy, Jacob's brother, and he's on a hologram with Moff Gideon, and Moff Gideon's like, long live the Empire. And Moff Gideon I already love. I think he's an amazing character, and he's perfectly cast. But to see this moment in this episode, and that music when it kicked in, it started giving me chills, and I was like starting to feel so tense just listening to what was just happening here. I thought this was a really powerful scene and shows like how brutal the Empire can be and how they're just in one direction to get what they want, do what they must in the name of the Empire. So that scene coming in on number 7 is Long Live the Empire.
Close the doors. Sir. Close the doors. Which one? All of them. All of them.
The Empire. Long live the Empire.
They're taking the ship down!
Bloody hell, man, that was intense.
Won't.
Bloody hell. Number 6, this was just like I said with the Krayt Dragon. This episode contained very special moments. One of them in particular, which gave me the ultimate chills. It just made me feel so good inside, and it almost was like my younger 9-year-old self was sitting next to me at this point, and we were watching together again something which I loved so much when I was a kid, and that was the pod racing scene in the Phantom Menace. And I love pod racing. I love pod racing, Race's Revenge, and all the games in there. There was something I was fascinated with it, about it so much, and that's probably my love for like racing driving as well. But to have that in the Star Wars world, it was just something that's always stuck with me. The sounds and the engines, and they said like with the Phantom Menace, the whole point of the powerfulness of that scene is that it was only accompanied by music at the end. You didn't need anything else because the engines were you were listening to the sounds of the engines of the pods and how powerful and sort of immersed that can make you feel when you're watching that scene. And to have Anakin's pod then turn up in the Mandalorian, and I was not expecting it. Just a couple of speeders going out in the horizon in Tatooine, and then next thing I hear Anakin's pod, and that you'll see is just that moment where my whole being was just so happy, and I love that scene so much. It's like they didn't forget about us prequel fans, and it was just there you go. And I must say, I greatly appreciate it. So coming in on number 6 is Anakin's pod speeder. Oh my goodness, man! What the hell? What the hell? I just heard the noise. Oh my god, Anakin's pod. That is my childhood, and it lives on. It's just modified into that is awesome. Bravo. This is amazing. I love this episode. Oh my god. Anakin's engines are just sending goosebumps down my spine. This is a great episode. Anakin's pod in the corner. Oh, it makes me so happy. Episode 5 is about that chapter which I was very skeptical about containing that chap, but the scene where they take off in Slave One and Boba Fett's flying around, I didn't think that there would be this many sort of prequel nods, and where the sequels, I think, really failed and neglected to appreciate the prequels and the mythology which came with it as well. Maybe a couple of things here and there, but nothing substantial. This scene was just boom, like enjoy that. And as you see, like from the reaction, I guessed before, I was like, wouldn't it be great if there's a seismic charge in there? Just because I was fanboying, I thought, but what a perfect place. And when you do things like that, it invariably means that when the fans thinking something, the director and creators, well, in the Star Wars world anyway, the movies, they're not going to do the same thing. They'll do something completely different, and it's almost as if they avoid. I don't want to keep harkening back to sequels, but you don't have that sort of those moments in there where it's like you have those payoffs or do anything callbacks for like that. It's like they use it to tease you and entice you, but they won't do it to please you, if that makes sense. And so this scene with the seismic charge was just a complete masterpiece. To see him drop that bomb from Slave One on those poor TIE fighters, that was just an amazing fanboy moment. Like, I felt so emotional, and I don't know, it's like I almost think it's like happy tears, like you just want to cry. And that's probably the saddest thing I could probably say for someone who loves Star Wars so much, but it just shows you how much I love this scene so much. Just one little nod like that was for Attack of the Clones, then yeah, I loved it so much. So coming in at number 5, the seismic charge. I love you, Boba. Seismic charges. Slave One still sends shivers down my spine. Oh my god, please be a seismic charge. Imagine. Oh my god, bloody yes, that was amazing. I love that. Thank you so much for doing that. Anything like to do with the prequels just makes me bloody... Number 4 was a very unexpected and a brilliant surprise, which I thought paid off so perfectly in this season. This was the moment after watching the episode the first chapter of season 2 on Tatooine and loving that so much, and couldn't think it would get any better with the Krayt dragon, the feeling of Tatooine. It made me want to go to Tatooine. But then as you think it's over, and then the Mandalorian's buzzing off and is driving off in a speeder, and everyone sort of shook hands and made friends and done their thing, and then it sort of cropped a little bit for sort of Western Horizon sunset, and then all of a sudden Boba Fett is there. And it's not just any Boba Fett, it's the actual Jango Fett Boba Fett, which I loved so much. Tamora Morrison, I think that's how you pronounce his name, but the fact that they used him, and when he turns around, he's got the gaffer sticks on his shoulder or back, and he's walking off like he's going after the Mandalorian now. That was a completely epic and totally unexpected scene from the Mandalorian, which I loved, and as you see from the reaction, appreciated so much. So coming in at number 4, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. He's coming back. Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
He's a cool guy. I like him. They make a good team. That was an awesome episode. Like, so many cool things happened. Like, it was absolutely loved it. It was like so well thought out. I didn't think that jump. Oh my freaking goodness! What? Oh my fucking shit! What the hell? What the hell? Oh, that freaking Boba Fett. What the freaking hell? So coming in at number 3 for what I feel is my third favourite reaction from season 2. And that moment was when this character was taken from animation to live series. And that was of course when Ahsoka Tano turned up as well. Like, I was very, very skeptical with Ahsoka purely because of her voice. Like, it's an iconic voice that Ashley Eckstein did. But then, after I saw the performance of Dawson, I think, I can't remember her name, I thought it was kind of quite magical. And looking back on that, it was a really nice scene. If it was a Star Wars movie, it probably would have been held and done a Luke Skywalker right at the end. It's like a cliffhanger. And so she wouldn't be used at all, and then kind of only end turn up. But then straight away, boom, Ahsoka's in there and she's got her white lightsabers out and she's fighting. That was a very, very special moment to see such an iconic and beloved Star Wars character come from animation to live series. That was really quite emotional and a really good surprise to see that as well. And I think a testament to Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau for doing that and making that happen, because I think this was, like, tonally it was kind of a slow episode. You kind of guess where it was going, but it's sort of the name dropping things. It had importance to the story itself, and it was the importance which kept me enjoying that episode so much. So when it was not just the Ahsoka moments, but it was also the Grogu moments as well. And she's given this the backstory for how Grogu survived and the Jedi Temple, referencing to the prequels again. I, myself, a prequel era person, loved it so much and thought it was a very special, magical moment when she was in there. So here's my reactions. Coming in on 3rd place, Ahsoka Tano. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What the hell? Straight away, I was not expecting that. Freaking white lightsabers as well. Oh my god. Wow. Oh man. I was not ready for that. Oh, amazing. Freaking Ahsoka Tano. Live action. Awesome. This is freaking awesome. She looks amazing.
Ahsoka Tano! Bo-Katan sent me.
Can't help but smile when I see her. So
Hope
good.
it's about him.
Bogu?
Yeah.
Grogu.
That's cute.
He was raised at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant.
My goodness.
Many masters trained him over the years.
My goodness.
A wise Jedi master named Yoda.
So So this is pretty high up there. This is one of the important ones and a moment which I loved, and I think my reaction will show this, which I loved so much. And it was unexpected again, like a majority of these reactions is because I was not expecting these things at all. I swear there wasn't this many sort of payoffs in the first season, but now I feel like they went to town and just got me hooked, and so many of other people as well, these special moments. But that moment where he takes Grogu to the Seeing Rock or Seeing Stone or whatever that was, and that in itself is a special moment, and trying to work out what was going on there, and sort of the tension was already it was rising quite a lot then, and you're sort of wondering what's going on, and then out of the blue, Slave One appears, and that moment when I saw that, I heard it, and I saw the ship, and that was just crazy fanboying moment for me inside, and I was completely shocked, and I thought it was just so perfectly filmed. Like, the Slave One appears, and you're like, oh my goodness, like, Boba Fett is in that ship, like, and he's about to appear, and then next thing, Grogu is connected with the Force Rock, and all that Force stuff is coming up there as well. That was just like, my goodness, like, stuff is happening here. Like, some really important things are happening. And then, of course, what followed with all of that scene with Boba Fett and those epic fight moments, it's like they were making up for what all the mythology for Boba Fett throughout the years has done and talked about. It was like we saw it all in one episode in this fighting style and how aggressive he can be, and it showed us the bounty hunter that we've always wanted to see, and to see him don his armor again, like with that moment where he looks over at the crest, the Razor Crest, and he sees his armor, like he knows his armor's in there, and then he turns up with that. That was amazing so much. My only thing about that is because I loved the Boba Fett jumpsuit, and I think I don't know why I was hoping for him to go kind of in that thing again. So to have something different there as well, and the new design for him as well, I think worked really well for Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
But that episode was crazy amazing. I loved it so much, and I think my reaction justifies those moments where I'm completely in shock that I'm actually seeing Boba Fett taking down stormtroopers, and he's in his armor, and he's doing what Boba Fett does, and just taking no crap from anyone. I loved that and appreciated it so much, and it made me feel very happy. But then the special moment in there where he reveals his chain code and references Jango Fett, his father, and tells us about his backstory, that he was a foundling as well. Very powerful moments in that Krayt episode. Coming in number 2, Boba Fett. What is going to happen? Oh my god. Oh my freaking goodness. Oh my goodness. I've got freaking shivers everywhere. You are kidding me. Oh my god. I didn't think I'd get so excited about a ship, but if Boba Fett has got his ship back. Oh my god, so much is happening. Oh my god. I can't deal with all these surprises anymore. This is just too good. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the hell? Oh, fanboy alert, freaking hell.
If you want my armor, you'll have to pay
I don't freaking believe it.
Mandalorian.
I'm a simple man making his way through the galaxy.
Oh my goodness. You are just awesome. I cannot believe I'm watching this. This is so good. Oh my god, yeah. I was like, what are you up to? Because he's going for his armor, isn't he? He's taking shots. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. What the hell? This is incredible. And as you probably guessed already, coming in at number 1, my top favorite reaction, and I think this was probably the most powerful reaction to anything Star Wars which I've ever had, and that was with Luke Skywalker turning up. You could see when I was watching this that I wasn't really even expecting Luke Skywalker. I thought they'd probably go with Ezra Bridger for some reason. And then when the X-Wing turned up, because the X-Wings kept turning up in episodes, and the pilots as well, I thought it was one of them again. But then when it was one X-Wing, I just thought, well, it's just that one pilot, not the Dave Filoni one, the other one, just going after them or doing something. And then at that moment, just completely out of nowhere, where cogs were moving, and then, oh my goodness, that's Luke Skywalker. And then like now, it's like the shivers start coming down my head, and then that music starts going, and with that choir, and it was just like, I couldn't believe it. It was just one of the most emotional Star Wars scenes which I've ever watched. It was so powerful and moving in every single way. For me, it was such a powerful, moving scene. I think probably heightened for the fact that we hadn't had any Luke Skywalker payoffs in the sequel trilogy. I don't know what I was expecting for Luke Skywalker, but it certainly wasn't what we got in those movies. And to have what we got in The Mandalorian was something so special, and I don't think will happen again. And the surprise certainly won't happen again. But it was just almost as if Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, they wanted to create that just ultimate moment, and it would put aside all the politics that Lucasfilm hold and have in their hearts, and just find it necessary to implement in the stories. It shouldn't work like that. Star Wars movies are used for escapism. When I was younger, Star Wars was the thing which was there for me and took me out of that world. Like, it brought me into something different, something I can escape to, and that's why it's always been there for me. Like, I feel so strongly about it, and everything in it, the characters and the story. If Lucasfilm could let go of that and leave creations like this to happen, like, this was just completely amazing, and what should be happening for Star Wars content. I think Rogue One was there on many points, especially with Darth Vader at the end. With this scene with Luke Skywalker, it was so perfectly done. I think it needed to be. For the story's sake, it didn't feel like the story was written around it. It felt right for the story. Like there was an exciting, prosperous prospect for Luke Skywalker's character ahead in the future. And if it goes to where so many people were speculating with the story, where it could eventually change the sequels and make the sequels just an alternate time or something in Star Wars universe, I think that would save and benefit Star Wars so much. But to see that they went there with this scene, when he's slashing around his lightsaber, and then he turns up and comes through the blast door, and the whole time, like, my wife says, she complains that I don't cry, that I don't get emotional about things and like that. If she could see me then, when I was filming this, I was trying to hold it in so much. Like, I could feel it in me, and I was trying to laugh because I was so happy, but I was so emotional and just felt like I just needed to cry, which was just a crazy thing. But that moment just shows how amazing this scene was with Luke Skywalker. When he takes off his hood and then you see his face, that's when I nearly lost the plot, and I just had to keep turning around because I think I started crying then. And then that scene that followed, saying goodbye, the Mandalorian saying goodbye to Grogu, that was so powerful. And then the bit that hit me, and I had to actually record this bit again because it was just too much for me, and I had to totally tone it down so much. But when R2-D2 turned up, because R2 wasn't used in the other movies, he wasn't really used at all, and as George Lucas said, he's kind of like the key. He's one of his favourite characters. I think he said in that one of the documentaries. In fact, he did say that in one of the documentaries. I know that because I've watched them 1,000 times. But he's the character which is like in every Star Wars movie. So to see him in there with Luke Skywalker again, and then hear him sort of turn up and like a happy droid, I don't know why I lost the plot. And those bits, I have the footage, but I had to turn around because I was completely crying so much, and that's probably a really sad thing.
Don't be afraid.
Oh. Oh, fuck. Really sad thing to some people, but for me, this scene just shows what and how I felt about this scene, how amazing it was. It was the perfect ending, and I just wish I could watch it all over again, brand new again, because it was so amazing. So of course, coming in at number 1 for what I think is my top reaction for The Mandalorian Season 2 is of course Luke Skywalker and the hallway scene. Hello, what have we here?
Incoming craft, identify yourself.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is this happening? Is this happening? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Is this happening? Oh my god. Oh my goodness. What the hell? This is incredible. This is amazing. I just was not expecting this. This is something else. Wow. Just wow. God, I just can't believe what I'm seeing. This is... Oh my god. What has this show done to me? Oh fuck. Oh my goodness. I just can't handle it anymore. It's just Star Wars right there. Wow. 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 A masterpiece, a complete masterpiece, and something which I loved so much. So I hope that you enjoyed re-watching those reactions. I mean, like I said, I probably should have done this a long time ago, but I think we were all on the same page. I think when we was watching Season 2, there were so many great moments in there. I think we were all similar. We all had our favourite moments and equally enjoyed how amazing Season 2 of The Mandalorian was and what it contained for us Star Wars fans. Let me know what your favourite reaction was of mine. Might not have even been on the list. Let me know down below and what your favourite reaction or moment was in Mandalorian Season 2. I don't know what quite will be coming out next. I think it's the Bad Batch. I think that's in May. I'll be doing the same thing for the Bad Batch, which I did for the Mandalorian, reacting to that and watching that as we get through that as well, because I was toying with getting rid of my Disney Plus account. I wanted to watch WandaVision, and then I thought, well, there's not really much Star Wars stuff on the horizon, but of course there's the Bad Batch, and then I think the Book of Boba Fett lands at the end, so maybe that's going to be enough time in between. But during this whole scenario where everyone is downed and locked in their house, then I think once that is surpassed, then I'm very much looking forward to seeing what's coming out for Star Wars at the cinema, and hopefully there's going to be some real positive news for Star Wars and they can get back to making amazing Star Wars things, because that is what is important for Star Wars, and that's what we want. Just the movies, just Star Wars stuff. We don't need any reminders of the real life or this person, that person. I don't care. I will just want to see Jedi and Sith. Also, there was a tweet from Mark Hamill, and he put a link up on his tweet and he watched a bunch of reactions, and I was on that reaction. So Mark Hamill might have actually seen me reacting to seeing him in The Mandalorian. I should have got a t-shirt of that printed out, and yeah, that was just probably the best thing ever. So I hope you enjoyed this video and going through the reactions again and refreshing our memories with the amazing moments from The Mandalorian Season 2. I really enjoyed going through it. Like, I'm probably going to go and watch it all over again. The only thing, I would love to be able to buy these things on Blu-ray and 4K and what have you, because I like to own things, and I don't like this whole thing of paying subscription and never actually owning anything. That just feels a bit odd to me, and so I don't want this to be a transition from DVDs, and you know, because I like that, and there's no interruptions with Blu-rays. There's always problems with, like, Disney Plus, it will just turn off randomly. It's happened in every movie I've watched so far. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to purchase The Mandalorian or something in the future, but probably not yet, because that's the driving force of their streaming service. But I'm looking forward to great things on the horizon for Star Wars. I just don't know when they're coming, and hopefully this whole Gina Carano thing will change. But I think probably what I'd like to see the most here, and I might make a video about it one time, is thank you Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni for The Mandalorian. So take care of yourself, and remember, the Force will be with you always.